Hi, I thought I'd do a blab video on a topic that I quite sometimes talk about on either the EEVblog forum or my blog website, or I talk about on Twitter and stuff like that, and it's to do with paid blogging. And I actually put this EEVblog forum post here, and it's been reasonably popular. There's been a bit of discussion about it, about a paid blog offer, which I got just the other day. And there's nothing new about this. I get paid blog offers all the time. I've been getting them since, you know, like a couple of months after starting my blog back in 2009. I think. Geez, that's scary. Anyway, they come with monotonous regularity, and I turn them all down. And I've actually got a section on my website for reviews and telling the manufacturers if you want me to review your product, then there's all my rules. It's my blog, I make the rules, and I don't do paid advertising. I've turned down every paid reviews. Sorry, I've turned down every single paid review that I've ever gotten, and it's not something it's something I talk about a lot on the forum and stuff like that, but I don't think I've ever done a video on it as such. So I thought I'd do a blab video, because not everyone watches or reads or participates in the EEVblog forum or follows me on Twitter or something like that. So you may not, or reads my blog, text blog, so you may not have actually seen this before. So yeah, let's just talk about it. Paid blogging. Now, or you can go to my website here. I'll link it in. I won't go through, but I've got a whole bunch of rules saying that you can't review the video before I upload it. I can say anything I want. I can show competitors' products. What is it? You'll get compared against your competitors, and I'll focus on negative things, and blah 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 blah. And I won't pull the video if you don't like it, etc., etc. It's my blog. It's my rules. And I posted on the EEVblog forum, I actually redacted the name of the company, and it's actually an agency for a big name that you've heard of. They contract these big manufacturers, contract these PR advertising agencies and stuff like that, and they're usually the ones who contact bloggers like myself and say, hey, can you review this and we'll pay you X amount or whatever. So I posted this, so please forgive me for redacting the names. It was a personal email. They didn't, so I don't want to put their name there. You're not losing anything by not knowing who it is. Anyway, it's very typical of the emails I get, so I'll just read it for you. My name is Blah, and I'm an accountant executive at Blah. I just want to reach out to you today with a sponsorship opportunity. So they're obviously after a sponsorship. They're after sponsoring a blog post, and probably the most common thing I get is all the time, which I've stopped even replying to these people, especially if they don't go, hi Dave. They just send me an email saying hi and insert hyperlink of my website. They instantly go to the trash can. Anyway, they want me to do a sponsored blog post, and it's just so annoying. I don't do sponsored blog posts, let alone sponsored reviews. Anyway, sponsorship opportunity with one of our key Blah. We're looking to work with an influential YouTuber such as yourself, thank you very much, to create some maker engineering content. Please find below a brief description of the program and what we are thinking. They basically want to send me a developer kit. We are currently working with Blah to promote a new Blah by creating educational content and encouraging fans to check out the developer kit on Blah. We'd like to seed you with a development kit. Seed me so that I can then, it can flower and sprout roots and everything else. They want me to create one YouTube video about the developer kit. This video should focus on the technical aspects of the kit, what the developer kit can do, and also show you using it for a new project. So they want me to actually do a project for the thing. We would be happy to provide you with any key messaging that you can incorporate into your videos. And this is very common. They will often provide, a list of talking points and things like that, that you should talk about. You don't have to, but if you're stuck for things to say about it, they really like to encourage, because they've got keywords, wank words that they want to get across as part of their marketing campaign. Anyway, they want me to do that. Then they want me to write one blog post around the blah and its applications. This blog post will be posted on the main blah blog, i.e. not mine, on their blog, which nobody watches, I'm sure, and will be listed as a guest blog from you. So they want me to write a blog post. And thirdly, support the program via 6 to 8. They're reasonably specific there. 6 to 8 social, maybe they've got some metric. They've paid for some research that shows that, 6 to 8 blog posts is optimal before, it really sinks in to people's subconscious. Anyway, on your social media channels, i.e. Twitter, Facebook, my blog site, all that sort of jazz, to help amplify your content. So it's like they're amplifying my content. It's not theirs, I'm helping myself. Yeah. We will cross-promote your social posts and videos on our blah. You mean that blah that nobody watches? Yeah, great. This is a common thing with these companies. They think that they're doing you a favor, i.e. the blogger a favor, by getting you to produce content for them and marketing you on their channel, on their blog. But all their numbers are bullshit. Most of the manufacturers' blogs get bugger all views. Most of the manufacturers' YouTube channels get bugger all views because they're so corporate and they just don't know how to appeal. They're not personal enough. People hate corporate blogs. They don't read them, especially engineers like us. Anyway, they'll promote me on their social media channels. Yay, thank you. For this level of support, we can offer you a blah, basically a development kit thing, and $2,000. I presume that's US dollars, they're US based. And I'd love to get you on a call in the next couple of weeks to further discuss the activation and finalize details. Let me know what day time works best for you. Thanks for looking forward to hearing from you, etc. Well, thank you very much, but of course I've turned them down just like I do every other paid blog opportunity. And why do I do this? Well, I really don't necessarily need the money. I hate to say that, but like $2,000 is not a lot of money for doing this, and it's a lot of work. I'm a professional blogger. It takes time to do all the stuff that they want me to do, i.e. make a video about it. Okay, I normally wouldn't have done this video, although if they send it into my mailbag, I might have done something with it. That's how I generally work. But they want me to do specific content for them. So because I'm accepting their money, I'd feel pressure to actually create, a decent content for them. Whereas, you send something into the mailbag, you just get what you get, but they're basically contracting me to produce content for them. So as a professional, I would naturally feel obligated to give them sort of, professional content back in return. And it takes a lot of time to do that, especially if they want me to create a project, right? This is just crazy. The amount of time I'd need to spend to make some sort of, even hack together something, a days of work, right? To make a project and show this thing off. And then they want me to write a blog post. Do you know how long it takes to create a real quality blog post with embedded graphics and, you're always thinking about what to say, how to say it, what order? It can easily take half a day or a day to write a really good quality blog post. And I'll show you a blog post in a minute, which is basically just text from me, but it took me forever to actually write that. And so once again, there's this could be maybe not a week's work, but it could be a solid 2, 3, 4 days work or something like that. And then I've got to basically flog the stuff on my social media channel, which I don't do. So I'd be getting actually poorly paid for this. $2,000 sounds like a lot of money. And it might be to somebody who, to some student or something who has bugger all money and they've got a blog that's, a YouTube channel or something that's given them, making them, $50 a month or something like that. $2,000, yes, it can be a lot of money, but to a professional blogger whose time is incredibly valuable, I still don't have enough time to make the content I want to make, let alone someone else's content. So $2,000 is not much for like a good, solid, maybe a week's work or something like that. And then, right, so it's that. I'm not really getting paid a decent rate for this. And I'll show you why in a minute, what $2,000 might buy you somewhere else. It's bugger all. Okay, so they're getting this actually really cheap. And second, I'd be branded a sellout, right? Even if I made it clear up front that this is a paid, sponsored video or whatever at the front of the video, instantly an avalanche of criticism would be phenomenal. And I haven't done one of these ever. So as if I'm going to do it for $2,000, like, maybe for $2 million, I might do it, but I'm not going to do it for $2,000. And then see, I'll be off to a private island somewhere and I'll blog from there, or just give up the game entirely. Anyway, for $2,000, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sell out. And then, of course, once you agree to this, and especially once you've taken their money, they won't tell you up front in this, but then they start, they start manipulating you. We'd love to see the content before you post it. And when you say, oh, no, I don't do that, they'll say, oh, but it's just to make sure that you haven't made any mistakes. Bullshit. It's always because they want to make sure you're not saying anything bad about them. They're not showing you the competitors' products or anything else, right? So when you're paying money like that, there is pressure on you to basically play by their rules. And I don't play by anyone's rules. I never have and I never will, especially for $2,000, right? So, there's nothing, it's just a lose-lose-lose situation for me to take a deal like this. It might be different for as I said, some student somewhere who's got some YouTube channel and they're just starting up. That might be a lot of money and they might be, happy to do it. They haven't sort of built up a reputation yet or something like that. But hey, let's go over to here. I've actually done, a lot of people don't know about this. This was actually when I thought I'd start creating text blog posts, and this is the first one I ever did back in March 2013, so more than 3.5 years ago. I've done like half a dozen text blog posts. Now, the title is Bloggers Don't Sell Out Cheap, and I go through and talk about the fake numbers, the fake impressions that these companies, not only, it's like, the likes of, say, Element 14 and other, companies that set up these huge online blogs and they think they're the duck's guts and they'll throw all these numbers at you. And they're just basically BS. Hardly anyone reads or participates in these sort of blogs. My EEVblog forum is an orders of magnitude bigger than, a lot of these things that they say, oh, we'll promote you on there and you'll be famous and, everything else. Yeah, basically don't fall for it. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of things here, and I'm basically saying don't sell out cheap. And really, $2,000 might sound like, a reasonable amount of money, and it is. $2,000 is, a decent chunk of what I make on YouTube each month, for example, my YouTube revenue. It's a pretty darn good chunk of that. So, I could, if I got that every month, that'd be a reasonable addition to my income sources. But maybe I'll talk about income sources in a minute. But yeah, I basically go down and show, and I link to, and I'll show you here. This is EDN, EE Times, and this is their rate sheet. Okay, this is their advertising rate sheet, and this is why I say $2,000 is not a lot of money. They are getting you cheap. They are buying you super cheap. Okay, I'm basically the world's biggest engineering YouTube channel. And, to get 50,000, a typical video, easily get 50,000 views, right? And tons of exposure, and people will watch the whole thing and they're captivated for 20 or 30 minutes that I'm doing the video. Not everyone watches for the whole length, but, I've got metrics on that. Maybe 50% of people are still watching, 25,000 people are still watching after half an hour, or something like that is fairly typical for my videos, because most of my audience subscribe to me knowing I make long form videos. So most of them are pretty, they watch a good lot of it. So to keep someone captivated like that is marketing gold for these people. And yet, this is from 2013, okay? This is quite old. I haven't bothered to look for a new one. It's probably out there, but this is advertising rates for their print media, which nobody reads anymore, and also for their online presence. They bundle these things together. And you can just find this on their website. It's not proprietary. You can just Google it. And these are the sorts of, hang on, where are we? Let's have a look at some of the rates, okay? And they'll give you numbers which, as I said, are typically grossly exaggerated. They'll actually include a fake multiplier in there, just plucked right out of their ass for the number of views. Anyway, let's go down here. Look at this, total cost per week. If you want a welcome ad on their website, 640 by 480 welcome ad that pops up, you know, on the EE Times, is it the EE Times website? I don't know, I won't read it. Yes, EE Times website. It shows you there, right? Advertise here, it pops up, and that's $8,000 US a week, okay? And how many people visit that website? Not nearly as many as what watch my video or visit the EEVblog forum, for example. So $8,000 a week, wow! Unbelievable. And then look, $210 per CPM for a twig. What's a twig? I don't actually know what a twig is. I should. I'm in the business. I should know what a twig is, but twig or an overlay. For these things that, you know, pop up, other like sidebar ads and things like $210 CPM. CPM is cost per mil or cost per 1,000 impressions. That is ridiculous. That is orders and orders of magnitude more than what I charge for my advertising on my website, which I'll show you in a minute, whereas that's where I make a bulk of my income. And a leaderboard graphic, look, $1,500. Is that a month or a week? Because they had weekly before. I don't know, but it's a ton of money, right? They charge this massive amount of money, and these companies that do this, EE Times, who used to have magazines and things like that, EDN, used to have magazines. It used to be really mega expensive to advertise in these magazines, and it still is, and they carried their prices over to the modern day, you know, online content and blogs and websites and things like that. So it's a massive amount of money. So for a company here, the blank company, to get 50,000 eyeballs for 30 minutes. Because, you know, imagine if you're flicking through the web, you've got a print magazine and you're just flicking through like this, you might see the ad once. That's it. Like, and you might have a readership of 25,000 or something, and they might just see it briefly for once and they just go, oh, it's an ad, skip over it if it's not engaging enough. And, you know, or the EE Times website, you know, 8,000, oh, it's annoying, pop-up ad, you know, get rid of that. Or you might have ad blocker or something like that, but they're paying $8,000 a week for that. And they want to pay $2,000 for a video which is there forever. It's searchable forever. And then you want to write a blog post for them. You've got to actually do work creating the content. You've got to spend hours and hours, you know, dozens of hours working to create this content. They are buying you really, really cheap. And that's what I talk about here. Bloggers don't sell out cheap. Because as soon as you start blogging, you'll start getting these offers. You'll be found. You'll get, you know, some of them are pathetic. They're $50. We'll pay you $50 for a whole year. Oh, it's like, do not sell out cheap, right? If you're going to take advertising, charge, you know, I'm well under market rates. For you to advertise, I won't tell you the rates for my ads, but all these ads up here, Xilinx, for example, they're taking the banner spot up the top, which charges, I charge a lot more than the ones down the side here, and these are all randomly allocated down the side, and that's where a good bulk of my income comes from, the ads on my website, and also the ads on the forum as well. The top banner ad, I've got finechips.com/supply frame. They have TI ads up there, but they serve different types of ads. They've been the forum sponsor for years, and then I've got a new bottom forum sponsor, MacroFab, down here, and the forum gets an order of magnitude more views than the main website, so they're, you know, reasonably pricey, but nothing like what, you know, the likes of EE Times and other big websites and things charge. Some companies balk at my prices. They ask for my rate sheet and they, you know, freak out a bit. No, we can't afford that. And you know, that's understandable, but I'm charging more, somewhat towards more professional rates for my advertising. That's where I make a good lot of my income. So I don't need to take a crappy deal like this to actually do work producing content, which might be interesting, but hey, I'm basically forced, well, not forced, but I'm committing myself to produce that quality content for them for $2,000. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. And how long have I been yapping on for now? Ages. And I just wanted to point out as well, Lewis Rossman's videos. We've had Lewis on the Amp Hour. I've mentioned him a few times before. Check this video out. I'll link it in down below. He basically got a television production company, cable TV in the US, approached him for to do the unauthorized repairman, it's called. Like a TV show. He'd be the star of this reality show where he repairs Apple products and things like that. And the contract they sent him, oh, what a load of crap. It is one of the worst contracts I've ever seen, but it's probably typical of the entertainment industry. And he basically gives them a big thumbs up in the big middle finger in the video, and there it is. GTFO, get the frig out. And he's basically, and it's hilarious. It is, and he reads the contract. It's worth watching the whole thing. It is long, 51 minutes, but it's worth watching. Anyway, it's hilarious. And they only wanted to pay him I think it's $1,500 an episode. And under all these oppressive terms and conditions, he can't upload YouTube videos anymore, etc., etc. It's ridiculous to star in a reality TV show for $1,500 an episode and basically give up his entire online presence and online business, or they would control it and take a cut of all his revenue. It makes my offer here of $2,000 just to shoot one video and do a blog post and stuff. Makes it sound pretty good, doesn't it? Anyway, if you want to see how bad it can get in the industry, wow, check out that video. Anyway, I hope you liked that look. And what else did I want to say? Nothing. No, I make a good bulk of my income from the ads, and that's how I like it. I like, as well as Amazon and merchandise and Patreon supporters, and yeah, the YouTube, and I get the YouTube ad revenue as well, the AdSense ad revenue, but I think still the biggest part is the advertising for me. And as I say on my terms and conditions here, no, I do not let it affect my opinion in any way, shape or form. And if you don't believe me, go watch some of my videos where, these companies have they've never paid me to do it, but they've let me keep the gear. That's very common for bloggers in the industry to keep the gear, and it's also beneficial because then I've got gear. I accumulate this gear so that I can use in various shootouts down the road, tutorials, things like that, comparisons and reviews, and stuff like that. It's very handy to actually acquire gear like that. But even companies that let me keep the expensive gear like this, I really slag them off, and I don't hide anything at all. And I show competitor products, and some companies have hated this. They sent me, a scope or something, and I've done a review, a teardown. They go, you showed the competitor. Yeah, tell someone who cares, because what they were really after is quality content that then they can share on their blog and their YouTube channel or something like that. And some of them have taken they've cut out parts of my clips and gone and uploaded into their channel and things like that. I got no problem with that. But yeah, they basically want polished marketing material in exchange for what is to them a nothing cost. They can write off a scope or whatever. It's bugger all. It's even an expensive $10,000 scope, for example, doesn't cost them the $2,000 for the that a company like this might be paying for a paid blog thing. And $2,000 is not cheap. I've turned down like $4,000-5,000 stuff before for producing videos because it's one of the, as I say, I don't accept paid reviews. I don't do paid sponsored content. I'm happy with just the ads. And sometimes the ads are a bit, they come and go, and sometimes I've got not many advertisers, sometimes I've got a flood of them. And so it's not the most stable income, but over time, combined with all the other income, it averages out quite well. So I don't need to take deals like this. And if you're an up-and-coming blogger, I recommend you don't. It might sound like a lot of money, and like, go look. Maybe if they sent this to you and you're an up-and-coming blogger, say, look, I won't accept the money, but I'll take the product, and just let me do what I want. I've got no commitments. Just send me the product for free, and I might or might not do something with it. And if they don't like those terms, tell them to stick it. So anyway, I think this has gone on too long. I just wanted to share that with you. If you haven't seen it on the EEVblog forum, you should be on the EEVblog forum. Seriously, what are the stats on the EEVblog forum now? It's just insane. It's insane. What do we got? What do we got? Forum stat. Look, this is the number of users online at the moment. We've got 751 guests, 198 users. That'll change a lot depending on the time zones and things like that. And forum stats, it's just crazy. There's like 800 posts per day, 832 people online per day, and it's just, anyway, it's crazy. It's the place to be to discuss stuff. So I'll link in this post down below if you want to see it. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch you next time. Stop. Come on.